What's up, guys? YDO Strats coming at you with a discussion about the ban list. It's coming into effect in just a few days' time. It's in effect on November 9th. Is when these come into play. I mean, what's there to be said? They've slaughtered the metagame. The Duelist Alliance era meta is dead. For certain, Construct is banned. Necros was pushed beyond playability, according to everyone. And I find that funny, because everyone was saying Necros doesn't die, but when you take Shurit away, it doesn't compete quite as well with the Magispectors and the Cosmos. So, it's a hit a lot of people probably didn't see coming, but it's definitely hindered the deck a lot. So, I mean, that's all there is to be said about it. It's like, they've clearly killed it in the name of pushing forth the new stuff. But the thing that gets me the most, and probably the main topic of this video here, is the fact that they've banned Exiton. And Exiton's a bit of a controversial card. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people are like, oh, it replaces Heavy Storm. It's, you know, the new punishes you for overextending, and it's don't overextend and you don't get hurt by it. And then other people are like, well, you know what, I played the game and I had more cards and he played that and he won. And I made all the right moves and he was losing and summoned a card and won. And I guess that's top decking kind of, but easy access top decking. Personally, I'm either way about this guy. I can see both sides of the argument. I've been using him, I won't lie. I mean, he's there. Not using him because you hate him is kind of stupid, because your opponent will definitely use it unless you've both made an agreement not to, which I find odd. But in terms of his banning, I mean, if this had been a year ago, if you'd banned him in 2014, I don't think I'd be as upset about it, because in 2014, you know, Pendulums weren't even doing anything. The only ones we had were the really bad Performer Pals from the first era. It's the first wave of anything sucks. The first wave of, like, Exceeds weren't that good compared to the power of Synchro, and yeah, Synchro was kind of better than Fusion, I think, from what I remember. But the point is, the first wave isn't as good as it will be in later sets. And, you know, Pendulums weren't doing anything, and there was no need to keep Exiton around. So if you'd banned him, I'd have been like, yeah, you know what, I can see why you banned him. But the fact of the matter is, he was banned this year, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'll post a link to it in the description. It's a video of a Perform Pal and Pals deck, and he goes plus 10 in his opening hand. And it isn't the most consistent one in terms of getting out that same field every time. You need specific cards in your hand to do it. I tell you, most often you get Trap Tricks with Flesia and something else on board. Maybe a Cyber Dragon Infinity or something would be a more accurate opening turn for that play. But the point of it is, there's a possibility for you to face a deck that can go plus 10 with 4 counter traps, and that's mind-boggling. And there aren't many decks that can do anything about that, to the point where I don't think there are any decks that can do anything about that. If you have to face 4 counter traps and they have all their shit ready to go the next turn, it's like, what do you even do? And all of our decks were just hit. That new deck, that Pepe Perform Pal and Pals, is coming out in the next couple of months. We got Monkey Board and Breaker of Shadow, if I'm not mistaken, and it's just going to be insane having to face that deck. And I mean, like I said, everything got hit. Fucking Ritual Beasts got hit. The new Pendulums, in my opinion, already had an edge on everything when they were at full power, other than maybe Necros and Shadows. Because, you know, Ritual Beasts and, I mean, Burning Abyss and Cleafor can definitely put up a fight. I won't, like, they're fantastic decks, especially at full strength. Although, like, when you're going up against all these new counter traps, like Solemn Notice is going to be a 3 and all that, it's going to be hard to do, especially when you're putting out a rank 4 spam engine in the form of the Perform Pal and Pals. It's insane. Exiton was like the one card that you could save you if you were not playing a Pendulum deck and facing a Pendulum deck. Because when you're facing Pendulums, you know, every monster you get rid of, it's going to come back as long as they have the scales. So the challenge is to get rid of the scales, and Exiton was an easy way to do that. And I mean, the amount of advantage the scales can get you when you can summon everything back every turn. That's literally what Magispectors are. Magispectors are literally just summon everything, get rid of it, bring it back, and do it again until your opponent doesn't have any plays left to make. And Exiton could blow up the scales. I'll say that like 1,000 times. He was just good for blowing up the scales. And with his absence, it's going to be really hard for older decks to compete with the Pendulums in like any way, because yeah, you can side in your anti-spell fragrances, and you're going to have to put in, you know, main deck triple MST, and that'll end up being triple double Twister, I believe it is, or the new one that's coming out, discard and pop up to 2. that one is definitely going to have to be like a main deck card just so that you can stay alive against it. And don't get me wrong, there's always the top 5 or top 3 or whatever in the meta. There's always the top tier decks and the lower ones. It's just, if we had kept the full deck, like these decks not slaughtered, you could have seen a bit of variety in what we faced. You know, you might see someone playing Shadow or still playing Necros or whatever, even though you were facing against, you know, Pepe or the Monarchs or Pendulum Magicians or any of this stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sick of this meta as well. Like, going on DN and watching Necros versus Burning Abyss, it's like, oh wow, I haven't seen this before. That's terrific. But like, after these decks have died, in a few months' time, we're gonna have the same like top 5 anyways. It's just, instead of, you know, Klee, Teller, Burning Abyss, Shadow, and Necros, it's gonna be Cosmo, Pendulum Magician, Magispectors, Monarch, and Pendulum Magician. I mean, Forum Pal and Pals. I think that's pretty much everything that's relevant at this point. I don't know. It's the point of this video is just that I wish we'd at least kept Exciton to give the older decks some help, to give everything else a bit more variety. His banning in particular seems to be, along with Conahawk, is the most blatant play the new set of the entire thing. Because Construct banned from the OCG, Towers banned from the OCG, Necros have been slaughtered in the OCG. Fine, that's reasonable. I can put up with that. But Exciton and Conahawk were clear like cash grabs in a sort. So that's my 2 cents on it anyways. It's been a long process making this video, so if it doesn't make sense, I apologize in full, but let me know what you guys think. I mean, I don't know many people that like the ban list. I know my friends are all like, yeah, Construct's banned, I don't have to fight that anymore, and I'm like, well, go fuck yourself. But the point is, not many people approve of the whole mass slaughtering of the meta. Let me know what you guys think, particularly about Exciton. I mean, I know he's unreasonable, or unreasonable to some. But let me know what you guys think about him, specifically as a counter to pendulum scales and, you know, pendulum archetypes that put out monsters and cards in general like there's just no tomorrow. So leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and doodle-doo. We'll catch you next time on YGO Strats.